Right then, lads, welcome back to Kossi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kossi. We are back again with a match reaction. Full time, it is 0 Arsenal, 0 Brighton, and what a pathetic, truthless, worthless performance that has been from Mikel Arteta and his men. What is your reaction on that game, guys? Who was your man of the match? It's a question that I really do ask, every 90 minutes. Who was your man of the match? Mine is apparently not an Arsenal player. I'm going to go for Cucurella. And by the fact that I really do love Spain, I will go for Cucurella because I think Arsenal absolutely did nothing in that game. This one might be on Mikel Arteta as well, but it might be on the players as well, because we will dive into it. We will look at it. I think Mikel gets it wrong. Absolutely. He gets the whole 90 minutes wrong. If I am manager in that game, I'm winning it. I win it. I'm telling you. And this is not because I'm frustrated, because we didn't win the game or we didn't score, because I think defensive-wise, we put up a very, very good show. But I think Mikel Arteta got it wrong. The tactics are dreadful. They were absolutely dreadful in that game. The substitutes are absolutely even worse. Why isn't Gabriel Martinelli having a chance in such a game where you need to be more direct? Why isn't he having a chance in such a game where you need to be a little bit faster, sharper, and direct? Because that is, for me, if you don't give Gabriel Martinelli a chance against a Norwich side, because you're dominating play and things like that, I might well understand. I might well understand that. But against a Brighton side that you need to expose, that you need to just break through, how is Gabriel Martinelli not coming onto the pitch? The substitutes are absolutely dreadful, but the tactics are even worse. Smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel, guys. Need your match reactions. Need your thoughts on this game. I can see Fazola Anu telling me, Arteta experimenting. Is this how Arsenal played last week against Spurs? What is really happening to Mikel Arteta? And Quest is saying that Arteta should have brought on Gabriel Martinelli. We'll get into that. We'll absolutely get into that. Right. Let us start off with the performance that I thought was absolutely ridiculous and dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Because look, we played a Brighton side away from home at the Amex, and you never expected to have it easy. We never expected to have it on a silver plate. It was always going to be very hard. It was always going to be that kind of that kind of game where you come into the 90 minutes and you don't expect to dominate 90 minutes. You don't expect to dominate the game. And as well, as much as I thought the Arsenal had an upper hand to beat Brighton away from home this weekend, I was concerned as well, because they've had a very good start to the season, and they've been absolutely brilliant, especially with the way they keep the ball, right? So these were two teams that are good at the same thing, or are trying to do and implement the same philosophy. Arsenal, on one side, they want to keep the ball, have it, and pass it, and that's what Brighton did. Their game, their game plan absolutely worked. Because they came into that game not to allow Arsenal play football. That's it. And they absolutely did it. We never, ever comfortably knocked the ball round comfortably. We never did that. And that was, and that is what, Brighton had come to do. Whenever we got the ball, they came in numbers. They were hunting in parks, right? And eventually it slowed down our game. They didn't play at a very, very sharp pace, because if they had played at a very sharp pace, I think they only had one or two players. I think Trossard and Marco Cucurella. I think they are two players that actually played at a sharp pace. The rest of the players were actually doing the basic passing and keeping the ball. And this is where I think it's absolutely ridiculous. That is where I think Arsenal absolutely got it wrong. Mikel got it wrong, because they're passing it around at a very slow pace. They're getting exposed at the back because we did get them exposed on a couple of occasions. Aubameyang, he was offside, but that is one occasion. Then Emil Smith-Rowe, don't know why he goes down for a penalty. You should fight harder. Saka on the other side, at the beginning of the game, you saw that we could actually get in behind the defense. And I thought that was what we're going to do. I didn't think we were going to try to pass it around, but that is what we did. And we played in the hands of Brighton. We absolutely bottled it. It was a toothless, performance. It was a worthless, performance. It was a performance that didn't have anything in it. No game plan, no character. We were too comfortable. I don't know. We were too comfortable. Yes, there was a lot of defensive resilience, right? And heart and character. I think Ramsdale is again putting in a very, very good performance on that. But what about going forward? There was nothing. The moment Saka is put out of the game, it's absolutely out. And that's what I'm saying. Why is Gabriel Martinelli not getting a chance in this team? Why is Gabriel Martinelli not coming on in the 58th minute? Because when Alexander Lacazette comes on, and I wanted that change to happen, when he comes on, it's absolutely boom, it's bang. There is a change. There is something to talk about. But the moment Arsenal just, I don't know what Mikel is thinking. But it's absolutely ridiculous. Wherever he thought he was going was absolutely ridiculous. Sorry to say, the tactics have been absolutely dreadful. But there are a couple of positives to take from that game, and there are a couple of negatives to pick out from the game as well. So make sure you do get involved in the chat by tell me the negatives you saw in the game, and probably tell me the positives you picked out of that game as well. Right. So let's start off with some of the positives. One is the defensive resilience, the shape. We absolutely kept shape. We were absolutely 100% in shape all the time. I love to see that. I'm telling you for facts. I always love to see that. I always love to see Arsenal play football in an organized manner, because I think you could identify us as a unit. And I always love it. I always love to see my team. I always love to see my club really, really organized. I really love that. But there are a couple of problems that I think we should work on, right? The couple of problems that I think we should work on. Number one, our transition is absolutely blunt, right? Absolutely blunt, as blunt as I don't know. Now look, we tore Spurs apart in the first half of that game. We tore them apart, and I think that is one time where I feel like Arsenal was sharp enough. They were clinical, they were sharp, right? But apart from that game, Burnley, we scored one goal. It was a free kick, and we never tore them apart, right? Norwich City, we scored one goal. It was, yes, I think we got in behind on a couple of occasions, but ever since then, look at how clubs have been tearing Norwich apart. Watford 3 against them, Everton 2-0 against them. That shows you that there is something lacking in this Arsenal side. There is a lot lacking in this Arsenal side. And however much you want to give Mikel Arteta and Edu the credit, from the summer transfer window, there is something that we didn't do, and that was getting in that kind of player that just makes things happen, because we only have Saka in there, right? We only have Saka in there. So in this game, we needed a difference maker, and we do not have one in that team. We look so good when we're playing as a unit. We look so good, in executing teamwork. I think the team is always together. But when it comes to, how decisive, do we go? The character of players like Mason Greenwood is still missing. Because if you look at Greenwood and how he would love to make things happen, and how he would love to, just, click, make that spark, sparkle. I think we lack players like Mason Greenwood. We lack players like Bruno Fernandes, and a one Gabriel Martinelli should be doing that. Because look, guys, let's speak about it. Yes, Brighton, and this is true. Brighton were all over us throughout the 90 minutes. They were absolutely they were absolutely all over us. We played the first 10 minutes well. Had that 60% ball possession. I think it was 63 or 67. 10 minutes in, that was it. We didn't play any other kind of football. We were absolutely ridiculous for the 80 minutes. 80 good minutes. Yes, it is away at the Amex. Yet the weather is bad. Everything is there. But this is a unit, right? This and look, we will speak about the fact that this team is still, getting its chemistry and things like that, and probably the fact that Mikel Arteta is still finding his first 11. But 80 minutes against Brighton, and Brighton are the better side. 80 minutes against Brighton, and Brighton are having the ball on their feet all the time, is unacceptable. The performance isn't acceptable. I don't remember 2-3 good things that Arsenal did in that game, apart from the defending and maybe Ramsdale. There is no other thing, right? There is no other thing. We must be the difference makers in such games, because we are playing Brighton. Whether last season we collected 6 points against them. This season we should as well be collecting 6 points against them, because this has been a big game. A game that we attend. We come in the game, 11th, and you win this game. You're 2 points against Manchester United. You're 2 points against the likes of City and Liverpool, and whoever is up there, right? And the likes of Everton. That's what you want. Right, you need to keep the pressure going on. You need to keep the pressure ongoing. If you want top 6, if you want top 7, if you want top 4, United drop points, Everton drop points. That is where Arsenal have to win. That is where Arsenal have to get to step up the game. Beat Brighton, because Brighton is the first time in around 40 years that Brighton has played Arsenal in the top flight, and they're ahead of us, right? I think they had now the draw moves them to, is it 14 points, and it keeps Arsenal at 10 points. That is the problem. Just imagine we win this game, we go to 12 points, and Brighton stay at 13 points. We beat Crystal Palace after the international break. And maybe Brighton lose or draw, and then we're above Brighton, because we need to clear the traffic. The likes of Brighton, the likes of Brentford, you need to clear the traffic. And at the moment, we're not doing that. Brentford, after 7 match days, is still ahead of us. And with a lot of hope, because I think they have not played yet. Yeah, they play tomorrow. I don't know who they're playing yet. Should be finding out. But I think they're doing other clubs are doing a tremendously good job. Yes, it's a hard league, and Brighton deserve the respect. And Brighton have played well ever since they started this season. They have only lost one game, and that is to Everton, right? But I don't think they deserve the respect we gave them. Did we fear the game? I don't know, because we did absolutely everything wrong. Everything. I've seen Partey give away the ball on every challenge, losing every duel. I've seen Abu Sambi Lokonga very, very, basic. Martin Odegaard absolutely anonymous in the game. Smith Rowe trying to do things that are not even working out. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang out of the game as well. Kiantian and Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu, absolutely done by Cucurella in that game. So everything was wrong. And look, let's be honest. I'm gonna blame this on Mikel Arteta, right? I'm gonna blame this on Mikel Arteta, and the players have their own share of the blame to take, and we have to agree to that. But let us talk about Mikel and the dreadful tactics. What he set out to do was brilliant. 4-2-3-1 with Thomas Partey and Albusam Lokonga. That is enough respect to Brighton. Because they have lethal players like Neil Maupay, Leandro Trossard, the likes of Cucurella. So you can't leave your midfield open because they love the midfield. And I would be absolutely fuming if he didn't play a CDM today, right? It helped us playing a CDM because they had the ball. They had the ball in our half, but we kept them at least at an arm's distance. Because again, if they had a couple of corners, but if you think about the clear chances they had in that game, well, I don't think our goalkeeper really had those nightmares. I don't think our goalkeeper really had the nightmares, and that shows you the fact that you played Partey and Albusam Lokonga worked out very, very well. But Mikel set out to get this ball, right, and pass it around and create chances, probably at a sharper pace, right? It failed. Brighton came in this game knowing that Arsenal are going to try to pass it around. Arsenal are going to destroy us by keeping the ball. And they absolutely did it brilliantly. They refused Arsenal from having the ball. They locked us out of it. They absolutely locked us out of it. Whenever we got the ball, they were hunting in packs. They surrounded us and got the ball back. And that's why you saw that we couldn't make 2-3 correct passes. Right? Partey, that is not the Partey we know. 2-3 correct passes are not coming in. Albusam Lokonga, Smith Rowe, Saka, 1-2 touches, the ball is gone. 1-2-3 touches, the ball is gone. That was Brighton's game plan. First half, right? Let's start with Mikel. In the first half, he was absolutely done, right? He was absolutely done in the first half. So let us give him let's give him a loose thread, right? How about in the second half? We came in the second half and we tried to do the same thing, right? The same thing, try to win the ball back and pass it around. They were better than us at that. I mean, look, it's embarrassing that they were better. That they were better than us, in tossing the ball around and knocking it around and keeping it. But it happens in football after all. It happens. What is the plan B? Where do we go after our plan A fails? That is what is known in Mikel Arteta at the moment. Because for me, look, guys, yes, Brighton are keeping the ball, but you're keeping them at an arm's distance. And what that does is, if when they have the ball 10 minutes in, it draws their back line very close to the center line. Try to get some runners on that pitch. Try to do that. Get Smith Rowe off or get Martin Odegaard off and get on Gabriel Martinelli. What has Gabriel Martinelli, what does he need to do to get a chance? Because these are his games. You need a sprinter. Is it called sprinting? I think it's a sprinter. You need a sprinter, and you need a clinical finisher, and you need someone who's very, very direct in that game. I'm looking at Smith Rowe. And the chance he got, I think it was a little. I think it was Pepe who puts the ball in his way, and I'm like, if you have a player like Gabriel Martinelli there, he's not going to ground, because you were never winning a penalty in that. You're never winning a penalty. In that incident, you're not winning a penalty there. Yeah, it's quite tricky and decisive, and knowledgeable to go to ground because you never know what happens. But if Gabriel Martinelli is playing on that pitch, you know what he does is he holds the ball, waits for a run from either Pepe or Alexander Lacazette or Aubameyang, right? So I think Martinelli should be playing in that game. And it doesn't make any sense why Gabriel Martinelli is actually not getting any minutes for Arsenal. It doesn't make any sense. It absolutely makes no sense for me. No sense. If he can't start, because look, for me, Gabi is not far away from Saka. He's not so far away from Smith Rowe, and he is not, eventually he's not far away from Nicola Pepe. We can't say that these players are so clear of Gabriel Martinelli. We can't say that. However much we want to say it, we can't say it. They are not clear of him. They are not miles and miles ahead of him. So what I'm asking is Mikel Arteta not looking at that? What is he trying to do? When he brings on Alexander Lacazette, I think that is a tick for him. When he brings on Nicola Pepe, shit, absolute shit. If you wanted Pepe to play, start him in that game. He would have been more useful if you started him, because he would have given us the kind of width that we want. Because at the end of the day, if you look at how Crystal Palace battered Brighton on last Monday, it is Wilfred Zaha. It is the wide players, right? And of course, the likes of Conor Gallagher getting in there and absolutely having, the best game, the best game of the life. But in this one, you don't have a Wilfred Zaha there. Of course, you have Saka, who is your only hope, and he has been silenced. So if he wanted to play Pepe, he should have started him as well. But I have no problem with Smith Rowe starting in that lineup. I have no problem with Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Saka being behind Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. My argument is that Pepe you don't need Pepe, and that is the substitution. He makes the substitution just for the sake. Let me bring on Pepe, right? Let me bring on Pepe. After all, it has already refused. Let me just bring on Pepe. That is ridiculous. Think about it. Think about it before you do it, because this is a game that you could still win. I don't care how we win. I don't care. I love good football, and you know that. There was no win today. There was no good football, right? And I think I'm still thinking about that game, and I'm like, Mikel, you got this wrong. We are winning this. We have all the chances. We have all the channels to win this game. He got it wrong. He got it wrong. The substitutions are wrong. Everything is absolutely wrong. Everything is absolutely wrong. But you know what? Again, you can't, just blame Mikel. You just can't blame Mikel for the performance today. Let's talk about the players, right? Let's talk about these men. You have just beaten Spurs. You're not playing in Champions League football. You're resting. You've just beaten Spurs convincingly 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. You have won 4 out of 4 games. The confidence, that should be enough to get you the confidence in the bank. So I believe that we have the credit in the bank to beat Brighton, because the players have been performing well. And, that Tottenham Hotspur performance should be the spark. It should be the reason as to why Arsenal spark again. These men have been absolutely ridiculous today. And this is me trying to defend Mikel Arteta now. Because, look, if I'm manager, I don't know what to do with that team now. I don't know what to do with that team in that specific game. I could bring on Gabriel Martinelli. I could bring on, I think Martinelli is the best solution. Martinelli and Lacazette should have been a double substitution at 60 minutes, right? But let's think about it. Let's talk about it, guys. These players are trying to knock out the ball. They're trying to play from the back, which is on Mikel Arteta's instructions. And, that really exposed us to great harm in the first half. Because whenever we try to knock that ball out from the back, play out from the back, Brighton got it back very easily, and they played very close to our 18-yard box, right? So Aaron Ramsdale started knocking that ball long, and hoping that Arsenal could now get possession in Brighton's half, which actually never happened. What were these men thinking? Because think about Mikel, but think about the players. 2-3 correct passes. I don't remember Arsenal having a spell where we were passing 2-3 correct passes. Is it the quality of the players? I don't think so. I've seen Norwich They are the worst in the league. They have not won a game. I've seen Burnley. They're the worst in the league. They have not won a game. There are four clubs that have not won a game in this season. But I've seen Southampton as well against Chelsea. They have had spells. They have had moments in the game. We didn't have moments. What really happened to the players today? They looked tired. They looked unfit. I don't know what happened. Aubameyang absolutely out of the game. Martin Odegaard absolutely out of the game. And I'm asking myself, if Odegaard is out of the game against Brighton, how about Liverpool? How about Manchester United? How about City? Is he ever going to be that pivotal man that we rotate around? Because for me, this is a Martin Odegaard game. This is a Martin Odegaard game. Pick out passes. Even if you do not have 100 touches or 60 touches, today, it's okay. Brighton up, are using a very, very high press. What you should do is try to knock the ball around, try to knock the ball around, and try to keep, build moments, try to build the momentum. It never happened. It absolutely never happened. What we did was Arsenal doing typical Arsenal things, right? Arsenal doing typical Arsenal things. We lose the ball. There's no, I just looked at, us without the ball. I just think Brighton were better than us, in every occasion. That's the truth. They were better than us in every occasion. When it came to passing the ball around, they did it absolutely well. When it came to regaining the ball, they did it well. When it came to creating chances, they were better. They had more corners. They absolutely had everything in that game. They absolutely did it well. So players must, our players. We have the youngest player. We have the youngest squad and lineup in the Premier League. They have a lot to learn. It's a group of players that is trying to build their chemistry. It's a group of players that are trying to, get to know each other better. It will take, 2 or 3 seasons, and that's why I'm not saying Arsenal should be winning the league or Arsenal should be fighting for top 4. What I'm saying is that games like Brighton away, right, should be a test, and we should be equal to the challenge. Try to show some heart. Try to show some spirit. What about if you play Everton? What about if you play the bigger teams? What's going to happen? But in the end, I'm happy with the clean sheet. I'll take a point because we played poorly. So I'll take a point and I'll take the clean sheet as well. Big up to Aaron Ramsdale, by the way. I think he was absolutely spot on. Look, he's just getting better. He's just getting better. I think he's fighting for Arsenal number 1 position, but he's also trying to see if he can get into the England number 1 spot before the Qatar World Cup 2022. And look, a goalkeeper that has kept 3 clean sheets out of 4 games, if he continues with that form, 2 clean sheets, if he can keep 2 clean sheets out of every 4 games he plays, you never know. You never know. You never know what could happen, right? Arsenal's Thierry Henry plays with the fans. That's according to penalty as Arsenal. Arteta is a good striker. Is a good striker once he has a new blood transfusion to Arsenal. Akpen says, I feel 1-1 to Brighton away isn't the worst result. It's 0-0. It's 0-0. They are really good this season. Arsenal before would have lost this game. Our defense is quite impressive. Our attack, Aubameyang, was below par. Look, I take the result as well. I would take the result as well. And I do take the result as well. But the performance, I don't take it. That's it. I don't take the performance. I take the draw from the Amex. You take the draw from the Amex because if you look at how we've been performing right from the start of the season, you take the draw. But how are you getting the draw? Big up, Glenn says, I'm okay with I'm okay with the draw. Yeah, we are okay with the draw, and there's no problem there. You take the draw, but how are you getting that that 1 point? That's my that is because for me. if the substitutes are right, if he brings on Gabriel Martinelli, it doesn't work out. If he brings on Lacazette and it doesn't work out, I'm like, okay, we failed to get a point against Brighton, right? Or we got 1 point, or we failed to beat Brighton. But for me, the performance is disgusting. It's disgusting. No midfield, no attacks. Like, we never had a forward line. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But anyway, we got away with the point. Thanks everybody for watching. And I'll be we will do the player ratings. 6 things we learned. Make sure you smash a like on the video, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.